This morning, I am excited for the rich exchange of ideas and experiences that await us. And on behalf of the Vice-Chancellor, let me commend the organizing committee for assembling these wonderful minds to think about how to address the few challenges I realized in my submission. I believe that together, let's pave the way for a brighter, more sustainable future for our economies and for generations to come. Indeed, I'm so grateful for being part of this significant moment in our collective journey towards sustainable entrepreneurial development. Once again, on behalf of the Vice-Chancellor, I have the privilege of welcoming you to our wonderful and prestigious campus and wish you all a successful conference. Let me use this opportunity to once again assure you that UPSA will accord you all the necessary courtesies as we welcome you to UPSA. Thank you.
Thank you very much once again. And he stood in for the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Abednego Fehi Uko Amati. We are here because somebody bore a vision. Somebody understood a need after finding a gap. And we are fortunate to be joined by this person who is the founder of the Financial Innovation and Enterprise Conference. He is one who has traversed many paths. He's a professor of entrepreneurial finance at the Birmingham City University, where he currently leads the accounting and finance group. He's also one who completed his PhD as far back as 1996. His master's in social sciences, 1987. And he did this in money, banking, and finance from the University of Birmingham, and took his first degree in economics with honors, I must say, from the Birmingham Polytechnic. He supervises a number of PhDs in the areas of corporate, micro, and small business finance, and he also takes postgraduate courses on research methods and international financial strategy. And indeed, before joining the Birmingham City University, this gentleman held posts in finance within public and private sector organizations, having served as a financial analyst with the Forward Trust Group, now a subsidiary of the HSBC Bank, prior to which he had worked for Birmingham City Council. He has collaborated on a number of research projects funded by public sector clients. He has published extensively on issues of bank finance for SMEs with a particular focus on ethnic firms, and has co-authored papers and chapters in a number of journals and books. In fact, currently as we speak, he's researching and co-editing Reading an Entrepreneurial Finance book with Dr. Jonathan Scott. In fact, his profile is one that I can spend the next about an hour going through. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's welcome Professor Javed Hussein with a round of applause.
Thank you very much for a very long introduction. I'm humbled. Some of the things which you have stated, I have learned myself first time. Pro-Vice-Chancellor, Deputy Minister of Finance, and Deputy Governor of Bank of Ghana, I am humbled to be here amongst you. I wanted to be here for such a long time. But I think this time the team here and my colleagues, Professor Samuel Salia, who sits next to me, has made all of this process possible. Thank you again, UPSA, and the colleagues and the excellent team you have here who have made our journey to Ghana one of the memorable. Just to give you a context, about my university. I've been there for now 34 years. I joined them in September 1990. From the industry, of course, banking, and of course, I worked for Birmingham City Council as a finance officer. Birmingham City Council is one of the largest city council in Europe. So my transition to academia was one of interesting but very challenging too. I saw academia being separated by certain sort of demarcations, and I felt that we need to bring together academia with the policymakers and also bring it closer to the businesses which actually provide our bread and butter. Colleagues, distinguished guests, every country in the world, I'm talking about UK here too, and US, and of course for Ghana too. About 98% of businesses are categorized under the classification of small and medium-sized enterprises. They are a big contributor to our social cohesion. They are a big contributor to our GDP and, of course, employment. So this desire to work with the small businesses and medium-sized businesses grew stronger as I progressed through my journey in academia. My research interest began to move away from a bit of books to real life. And as a consequence of that, my first research project was how banks make lending policy to small businesses. There is, of course, risk in giving money out because we know that small businesses have a high chance of failure. They have a high risk, but one success could lead to enormous contribution to growth, employment, and GDP. And let me give you an example. Richard Branson. Richard Branson struggled to access finance to start his business. Imagine if Richard Branson was unsuccessful to secure funds to start his business, today UK would have been quite poor, or at least poorer than it is at the moment, because he brought railway, airlines, music, and a lot of activity in the UK. So hence my interest to really in entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs are unsung heroes. I know the last percentage will fail. A large percentage will survive. But there's one or two winners which will actually excel and provide a beacon of hope and economic prosperity to our country. And I think that's what we need in Ghana. We need entrepreneurs who are forward-looking, entrepreneurs who are able to take risk, and of course the government, which is able to provide them that sort of cushion to go forward and take a risk. Hence, this is my inspiration for starting this conference. Well, I've been doing a lot of conferences, but we thought we really need to look at financial innovation. Why financial innovation? I think we're moving forward, but at the same time, we're moving into a very uncharted territory. AI, artificial intelligence, which is actually bringing a lot of challenges and opportunities. I was at a conference last week, and we talk about actually, is AI very risky? Yes, it is. AI is very risky. AI is connecting all our lives, and of course, it has enormous potential to impact on us all. But at the same time, I think financial institutions have realized they can actually make use of it. And we actually need to promote policies, governance, which will enable the banks and building societies and other institutions, microfinance institutions, to collect information in a manner that can be used efficiently, effectively, for the betterment of us all. So banks are going through a transition of fintech, financial technologies, which are actually enabling them to collect more information, but also making them a little more nervous when it comes to lending to small businesses. So what we have tried to do in France and in UK is to say, let's sit together and discuss how we move forward. And of course, the same challenges are coming down from the Western world to also Africa and Southeast Asia. Hence, I thought it is very important for us to have a forum where we can discuss a multitude of challenges, opportunities, and see how we actually move forward. And of course, the sustainability agenda is becoming ever so important too. Sustainability, not only for few large firms, but also our small and medium-sized enterprises. It has cost. It has challenged. It has made us realize that we have to change the way we conduct our businesses. Large businesses can respond. Small businesses can't because there is a cost involved. So we have actually worked with the Institute for Small Business and Entrepreneurship. It is one of the largest organizations which hold the conferences and workshops to promote good practice. Okay, it promotes exchange of knowledges. And within that, we have set up a finance special interest group. So what we're really trying to do is three things. One, we're trying to bring the government departments, policymakers to one forum. But at the same time, we are also bringing researchers, our academic colleagues, to not really just produce theoretical frameworks, but also look practicalities of their studies and how we can actually use that results to change. We want impactful research. We want research will change lives. We don't want research which will sit on shelves or appear in some journals. We want change, impact, and that impact brings us a step forward to industrialization, step forward to independence, and move us forward. What I would like to say at the end here is that I am grateful that you have enabled us to hold a conference here. We have our partners from University of Sunderland who also have come together to support us. Together we can change. Together we are able to move forward, and I look forward to a future where we collaborate with one another. We are looking at developing technological platforms where we put you, the businesses, and also the mentors in UK and US and Germany, where we can actually have conversations, and hence we are able to move forward, support one another, learn from one another, and be successful and make contribution towards our economy, our people, our land, and we celebrate the successes, not the challenges. Thank you very much, Deputy Pro-Vice Chancellor and distinguished guests. I am humbled for you to be here and be in your company. I look forward to sharing our experiences further in presentations and listening to colleagues here. Thank you very much.
Having heard from the founder himself what his motivations were, and Listening to his profile, you can clearly tell that this is someone who has related with small businesses. He's related with enterprises. And so he doesn't just know the pain from literature, but he has experienced it in providing support to them. So we are not surprised at all that we are sitting here under that vision that you have borne. We appreciate you greatly. Please, another round of applause for Prof.
What's special about the conference is it brings unity. We bring academics and students from around the world to share your global research, your impactful research, and I'm sure all participants and all the audience will have a very enjoyable time. I'm deeply sad that I can't be in Ghana at the conference on the 14th and 15th. However, in 2024, I will certainly make it my effort to get there and present in person. So enjoy the 2 days, and on behalf of the University of Sunderland, have a special conference. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you very much, Prof. Derek Watson, Dr. Derek Watson, who is the Business School Projects Leader for Small Business Charter at the University of Sunderland in London. Listening to another of our partners, we are going to be hearing from Dr. Kieron Mackenbird, who is with the Institute for Small Business and Entrepreneurship. And just to give you a sense of who Doctor is, let me just go through briefly a bit of the profile. Just to indicate that we'll be listening to Dr. Kieron Mackenbird also via video play. So if we are ready, please, we can go ahead with that.
Partners. We are delighted to be associated with the conference and represented by our brilliant colleague, Professor Javed Hussain. Congratulations to you all on putting together a brilliant program with the highly topical and very interesting theme, promoting sustainable enterprise in developing and emerging economies. The topics of the sessions are extremely important, and by discussing topical and emerging issues in finance, enterprise and innovation, entrepreneurial education and training, and sustainable entrepreneurial finance, we are directly addressing the most salient issues of the finance and entrepreneurship ecosystem at present. I am extremely disappointed not to be able to join you in beautiful Ghana for the conference, and I eagerly await the valuable practical and policy implications which will emerge from your presentations and discussions. I wish you the very best with the conference. May you have thoroughly valuable and enjoyable days of analysis, discourse and learning. And I very much look forward to joining you next year for the 5th Financial Innovation and Enterprise Conference.
That was Dr. Kieron Mackenbird joining us via video messaging. It's now time for us to start listening to messages from our special guests. And this morning, representing the second deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana, Mrs. Elsie Ado Awaji, is the man who goes by the name Ismail Adam. He's currently the deputy director, Banking Supervision Department of the Bank of Ghana. And he represents the Bank of Ghana on SME Finance Working Group of the Alliance for Financial Inclusion, AFI, an international organization spearheading financial inclusion across the world, and presently chairs the working group. Mr. Adam holds a BSc Business Administration from the University of Ghana Business School, a Master of Arts in Development Studies from the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISBE, from the University of Ghana, He holds a law degree, a Bachelor's of Laws from the Gimpa Law School, and also his qualifying certificate from the Ghana School of Law. He currently holds 3 publications to his credit, including Rural Finance and Poverty Alleviation Among Rural Farmers, Measuring Risk in Agricultural Credit, the case of Upper Manya Krobo and Manya Krobo Rural Bank, and also Branchless Banking as a Financial Inclusion Strategy in Ghana, Implementation Challenges and the Way Forward. He's also authored a case study titled Agricultural Finance Policy Intervention in Ghana, a knowledge product developed for the Alliance for Financial Inclusion. Clearly, this is a man who understands what we call the grassroots. Please help me with a round of applause to welcome Ismail Adam.
Good morning to you all. And let me first apologize on behalf of the Second Deputy Governor, Bank of Ghana, Mrs. Elsie Aduaoji. At the last hours, another important engagement came up. And so she extends her apologies and wish you a fruitful deliberations today and tomorrow. So the speech I'm going to read is her speech that I'm going to read on her behalf. Mr. Chairman, the Pro Vice Chancellor representing the Vice Chancellor, Honorable Deputy Minister for Finance, Honorable Abna Asari, distinguished speakers, distinguished invited guests, staff and faculty of UPSA, conference attendees, the press corps, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to be here at the 4th Financial Inclusion and Enterprise Conference, and I believe this conference is making inroads in nurturing and driving innovative finance, strategic thinking, and entrepreneurship by providing a worthy platform for dialogue, for collaboration, for knowledge sharing, aimed at promoting sustainable enterprises. I'm extremely honored to participate in this year's prestigious event as a guest speaker and also a special guest. And together with the other renowned experts and leaders to address the theme promoting sustainable enterprises in developing and emerging economies. The theme is indeed strategic and much needed in the current period when economies in the developing world are rebounding from effects of our recent past, and also challenges that are being posed by the present global and geopolitical tensions across the world. This forum, I believe, will offer us direction and experience from great minds on how to intentionally promote our trade sustainably. I will focus my remarks on addressing the question, how can we bridge the gap between traditional financial systems and modern fintech solutions to ensure inclusivity and accessibility for all entrepreneurs? Ladies and gentlemen, the pandemic and its resultant effects of lockdowns and social distancing gave technology and its use an unprecedented mileage, which did not only change the way business is organized, but also created what we call a new normal in our social and financial ecosystem. And we can view them from the perspective of both traditional roles of institutions and emerging diverse and innovative solutions offered by third-party fintech companies. Ladies and gentlemen, in the last 2 decades or so, traditional banking models have changed and continue to evolve rapidly. Innovations have disrupted the way the world has traditionally viewed finance and payments, driven primarily by concepts such as artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and big data, among others. the 2007-2008 global financial crisis resulted in an unprecedented boom in the emergence of fintech, which had a revolutionary effect on global financial and payment ecosystem. The traditional banking system has also been challenged by the growing sophistication and sentiments of consumers of financial services. Today, banking customers yearn for speed, they yearn for lower transaction costs, and they yearn for convenience. They desire customized services as well as greater autonomy and control in their banking experience using digital channels while maintaining a degree of contact with their bankers. And I should say that yesterday I was at the program at Ghana Commercial Bank relaunch of their mobile app, and the message from the CEO was that the relaunch was based on feedback from clients. So you see how sophisticated clients have become in the last 2 decades. The emergence of a sophisticated consumer aided by growing middle class and complexities of the market implies that financial institutions need to work hard to understand and capture the interests, the desires, and needs of these clients to serve them effectively and to serve them efficiently. It also requires more adaptive and digitally responsive business model to be effective in enhancing customer experience. Despite the changing fortunes of banking sector, on the flip side, a large segment of society, especially in developing economies, remain unbanked. Either they are unbanked, either they are underbanked, or they are underserved. This financially excluded market usually includes low-income earners, it includes the youth, it includes women, and socio-economically marginalized groups based on geography, based on age, based on single parenthood, based on race, employment status, disability, lack of information, and culture. So we look at data from the Global Findex 2021, which is a survey by the World Bank, and they estimate that the average rate of account ownership, which is a measure of financial inclusion, is at 71% in developing economies. This implies that about 30% of the adult population in developing economies are financially excluded. And this is about 6% above the global average. So we have a lot of work to do as developing economies. And this survey cites lack of money, perceived cost of accounts, and distance to financial institutions as some of the major reasons that people remain unbanked. Amidst other barriers such as inability to provide account opening documentations and trust issues. Financial inclusion has thus become a top policy priority of government and financial sector regulators, because financial inclusion can bring about resource allocative efficiency, it can improve savings mobilization, and also lead to poverty alleviation. In Ghana, inclusive finance is not only seen as an important measure of development, but also seen as a catalyst for fostering social inclusion and formalizing the economy, including greatly enhancing the central bank's monetary policy transmission channel. These are broadly outlined in the National Financial Inclusion and Development Strategy, Ghana's Financial Inclusion Blueprint, which seeks to promote broader development in the financial sector and increase access to formal financial service. And here, I say a big thank you and appreciate Honorable Abnasari for her great role in developing this National Financial Inclusion and Development Strategy. The big ask is, can our traditional financial systems exclusively function effectively to foster financial inclusion? Exclusively, I say no. No is my answer. But collaboratively with fintechs which have competitive advantage in reaching the underserved individuals and communities. I say yes to that. So what has Bank of Ghana been doing over the years to aid in the agenda of financial inclusion? In 2008, the Bank of Ghana, in line with its financial inclusion agenda and aided by high mobile fund penetration in the country, issued the branchless banking guidelines to allow financial institutions and other commercial entities to offer financial services using alternative delivery models. The guideline provided a framework for digital financial services in the industry and saw banks collaborating and leveraging on existing infrastructures of relevant service providers such as telecommunication companies, technology service providers, and agents to improve access to financial services. The Bank of Ghana also passed the Payment Systems Act 2019, Act 987, and together with other policy initiatives in payment and settlement, such as mobile money interoperability and the establishment of Bank of Ghana's FinTech and Innovation Office, have promoted innovative solutions in the Ghanaian financial system. We have also streamlined the licensing processes for FinTech operations with our tiered licensing regime, along with the tiered applicable fees, making it more transparent to prospective applicants. The FinTech industry currently consists of 51 licensed institutions carrying on activities such as creation and managing of wallets, cash and cash out services, merchant acquisition and merchant aggregation, credit scoring, know your customer, and customer due diligence. Of course, we cannot engage in conversations around developments in Ghana FinTech ecosystem without mentioning mobile money. For instance, as of end of October 2023, total registered mobile money accounts stood at 64 million, with a transaction volume of 650 million and transaction value of 179 billion Ghana cedis. Other policy initiatives which have promoted innovative financial services include the guidelines for inward remittance payment service providers, which facilitates cost and effective and efficient nationwide remittance services, the notice on new merchant account categories, which seeks to simplify KYC and onboarding requirements, and these are all geared towards inclusive finance. Mr. Chairman, our financial inclusion agenda also recognizes the reality of gender and age gaps in access to finance in the country, and thus prioritizes gender and youth inclusivity and accessibility. Let me say that the MC mentioned Alliance for Financial Inclusion that the Bank of Ghana is part of, and I'm happy to say that there is a gender committee that is chaired by the Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Mrs. S.C. Adwaji. So it tells you how passionate Mrs. Adwaji and the Bank of Ghana as a whole is about gender inclusivity in the financial ecosystem. So while the 2021 Global FinTech Survey shows that the gender percentage point gap in account ownership has reduced from 9 to 6% in developing countries, a lot needs to be done to ensure that there is parity among men and women. The Bank of Ghana, through this agenda, has come up with a reporting system that gather data on sex, on youth, on the disabled. And the idea is to gather data to inform decision making. And so that reporting portal gives sex disaggregated data all aimed at ensuring that there's parity between men and women as far as financial inclusion is concerned. The challenge, however, Mr. Chairman, lies with balancing the growth prospects with the risk potent in FinTech under the concept of opening banking. History offers an invaluable guide in this regard. Regulations should always be informed by both benefits as well as the unintended consequences based on our present history. Today, Bitcoin and other blockchain digital tokens have crept into financial space, offering competitive payment and settlement technologies. Bank of Ghana, like other central banks, recently developed a piloted its version of the central bank digital currency, the ECD. And the idea is to demonstrate our readiness to appropriate innovation to deepen our payment infrastructure. Ladies and gentlemen, the union between traditional financial institutions and fintechs can be effective in ensuring financial inclusivity and access if it is guided by informed, appropriate data. And that is why I said Bank of Ghana has come up with an reporting format that take data on gender, on age, and other customer profiles. This is to allow policy to be tailored to the youth and women-led enterprises and other economically marginalized groups. Financial institutions can therefore leverage fintech data analytic solutions to improve their processes, customer retention, and fraud prevention. Let me say that innovations comes with risk. And so much as we are trying to provide accessibility for people who are financially excluded, we should also do it in a secured environment. In conclusion, Mr. Chairman, we need to sustain the cooperation on the subject matter. Continuous dialogue like we're having this morning will help to cement the relationship between traditional finance system and fintech operations. We need to know where the knowledge has converged, the next stage and direction of innovation, which is seen through blockchain technology, distributed ledgers, and tokens inspired by the internet. I encourage traditional financial institutions to leverage on their knowledge of customer demands and cooperate with fintechs to innovate products and services tailored to specific needs of previously neglected segments of the financial market, and thereby creating value for all stakeholders. The Bank of Ghana will continue to lend its support to innovations and digitalization to consolidate the progress made in the financial sector. On that note, I thank you all for your attention and wish you successful deliberations today and tomorrow. Thank you very much.
It's now time for us to hear from a man who is an academic, one who has served in public service and also in private enterprise. Let me start from somewhere much early on. He used to be a tutor at Prempeh College, where he taught, highlighting his commitment to education. And currently, he finds himself at a place where his work requires that he sources financing for education funding. Our next speaker is a distinguished leader in the field of education and innovation, and his impressive academic background includes a doctorate of business administration and a master of applied business research from the prestigious Swiss Business School in Switzerland, and he also holds a postgraduate certificate in business from the Nobel International Business School. His journeys in academia began with a Bachelor's of Science degree in chemistry, and he came with honors from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Kumasi, and his commitment to learning and leadership is further underscored by his certificates in organizational leadership and an executive diploma in innovation management and leadership. In his current role as the administrator of the Ghana Education Trust Fund, our next speaker has spearheaded transformative initiatives to enhance financial support given by Get Fund in support of the delivery of quality education. His 20-plus years of entrepreneurial experience in the private sector, including positions as production manager and factory manager, equipped him with valuable skills and insights. And during his tenure as the managing director of Altsima Wood Limited, our next speaker demonstrated exceptional leadership, particularly in the wood processing industry. His ability to lead and oversee businesses contributed to his reputation as a forward-thinking entrepreneur. Currently, he spares some time to teach as an adjunct lecturer at the Noble International Business School, where he shares his knowledge and expertise with future business leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, the profile is huge, as we would say here in Ghana. Help me welcome with a round of applause, Dr. Richard Ampofu Boadu.
We're still in the morning, so good morning to you all. Honorable Deputy Finance Minister, esteemed guests, participants, distinguished faculty, my dear students, all protocol observed. The UPSA 4th Financial Innovation and Enterprise Conference themed Promoting Sustainable Enterprises in Development and Emerging Economies is truly commendable, and I'm honored to be part of it. Distinguished guests, within the vast landscape of economic development, entrepreneurship stands as a beacon of progress, an audacious pursuit of identifying, creating, and seizing opportunities to give birth and operate new ventures. It is the very essence that fuels innovation and economic prosperity, fueling decent job opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, this educational paradigm is a force multiplier, equipping individuals with the skills necessary to identify opportunities, manage resources, and navigate the uncertainties inherent in the business world. It is not merely a curriculum. It is the cornerstone upon which thriving societies are built, fostering economic development, job creation, and innovative solutions to social challenges. It is on this note that I've been tasked to speak on how entrepreneurial education can be tailored to meet the unique challenges and opportunities of development and emerging economies. Commencing our exploration, I wish to acknowledge the commendable initiative of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission to develop a new framework policy for certifying graduates. This stands as a beacon of progress. This holistic certification encompasses essential 21st century skills, effective communication, proficiency in information technology, and a solid foundation in entrepreneurship. Emphasizes the critical need to bridge the gap between academia and dynamic job market. However, as we navigate the landscape of entrepreneurship education, we must acknowledge the unique challenges and opportunities encountered, especially in developing and emerging economies. Limited access to capital, infrastructure gap, market dynamics, and competition, technological adaptation barriers, and the challenge of accessing skilled labor all present hurdles to aspiring entrepreneurs. Yet within these challenges lie untapped markets, opportunities for social impact, avenues for low-cost innovation, possibilities for community engagement, and the support of government initiatives. Addressing these challenges necessitates the adaptation of educational programs to the economic realities of emerging economies. This involves the inclusion models on alternative funding sources, localized entrepreneurial ecosystems, technology integration, an emphasis on sustainability, and collaborative efforts between governments and industry. We must tailor entrepreneurial education to meet unique challenges and opportunities in our economy as it serves as a job creation engine, support small and medium enterprises, contributes to wealth creation, enhance local and global competitiveness, and acts as a catalyst for technological advancement. Distinguished guests, in illustrating transformative role, let us take a moment and delve into the success story that embodies the spirit of entrepreneurship in Ghana. Christian Boachi, the Chief Executive Officer of Pizza Man, Chicken Man, embarked on a journey in 2018, selling pizza slices in a rented apartment near Sub-Kids Academy in Kote, Kumasi, Ashanti region, as a student. A journey that began modestly has flourished into thriving enterprise, operating approximately 51 branches across the country and employing about 500 dedicated individuals. Pizza Man's success story includes strategic collaboration with local farmers, delivery companies, and suppliers. By engaging with the community and supporting local business, Pizza Man has become an integral part of the local economy, contributing significantly to job creation and wealth generation. This success story underscores the importance of tailored entrepreneurial education. It is not merely about starting businesses. It's about sustaining and thriving in an ever-evolving economic environment. By addressing specific need, tailored education nurtures a diverse range of enterprises, contributing to a robust, inclusive economy. It forms the cornerstone for creating job opportunities, driving local development, and cultivating a dynamic entrepreneurial ecosystem crucial for long-term economic viability. This story is just one out of many young successful entrepreneurs we have in Ghana. We took the risk in challenging, This story is just one of the many young successful entrepreneurs we have in Ghana who took the risk in challenging economic environment. I encourage the youth to be inspired by these true stories. Now, let's turn our attention to the significant contribution made by the Ghana Education Trust Fund, GET Fund. Since 2017, our commitment to fostering entrepreneurial education through technical and vocational training is reflected in the establishment of these TVET centers. And in the Eastern region, my Honorable Abna has that in her constituency. and Akumadai in the Ashanti region, Asinjankai, Pechi number 2 examples. These centers serve as hub for excellence in technical and vocational education, providing students with a state-of-the-art equipment, infrastructure, and a conducive learning environment. You may be wondering how the fund did this. The fund, in an attempt to raise adequate funds, tirelessly sought the approval from Parliament with a novel financial model of securitization to undertake these projects and supplies. The fund has not only been instrumental in establishing these centers of excellence, but has also made substantial contribution to the faculty development through scholarship and support the construction of hostels, lecture halls, and then others. These initiatives have significantly enhanced the quality of education and the overall learning experience. The GET Fund also funded the deployment of state-of-the-art equipment at the various public technical universities to ensure that teaching and learning of appropriate skills and expertise for graduates to be in a position to embark on entrepreneurial ventures. As we traverse the landscape of entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial education, let us remember that our collective efforts today shape the economic future of tomorrow. The journey may be challenging, but within this challenging lies unprecedented opportunities for growth, innovation, and sustainable development. Entrepreneurship is developing, and emerging economy is a complex and dynamic process influenced by various factors. While challenges exist, there are also ample opportunity for individuals and government to work collaboratively to foster a vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystem that contributes to economic development and societal well-being. Partnership between public and private sectors, along the supportive and conducive policies, can play a crucial role in unleashing the entrepreneurial potential in Ghana and elsewhere. Before I joined the Ghana Education Trust Fund, I was an entrepreneur. I cultivated a vision that extended beyond mere business operation. I emphasized forward-thinking strategies, pushing the boundaries of what people in the pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the wood industry. I steered my wood processing company towards unprecedented growth, leveraging innovation and adaptability as a crucial entrepreneurial virtue. One of the hallmarks of my entrepreneurial journey was the commitment to sustainable practices. Recognizing the importance of environmental responsibility, I ensured that the organization not only thrived financially, but also stood as a model for ethical and sustainable entrepreneurship. In sharing this entrepreneurial odyssey, my hope is that it inspires each of you to embrace innovation, resilience, and a commitment to positive change in your own ventures. Let us collectively explore the boundless possibilities that entrepreneurship offers in shaping industries and driving lasting impact. I look forward to the insightful discussions and collaboration that will undoubtedly unfold during this conference. Together, let us continue nurturing the next generation of entrepreneurs, empowering communities, and shaping dynamic and resilient landscape. Thank you.
Next to speak to us is Dr. Victor Abe, who is a manager for health, safety, security, and environment, and he'll be speaking on behalf of his boss, the Managing Director and Group CEO of Ghana Oil Company Limited, Mr. K. Osei Prempeh. A little about Dr. Victor Abi. He is an academic scholar with doctorate degree in business administration and master's degree in applied business research from the ISBE Swiss Business School, Switzerland. He's also an alumnus of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, and he also was at the University of Ghana, where he obtained his first degree in philosophy, and of course from KNUST, his master's degree in business administration. He's a certified trainer of trainers and a specialist in occupational safety and health management and cross-cultural negotiation in trade and finance. And he's the author of a book I find very, very interesting. And this book goes by the title Volatility, Uncertainty, Complexity, and Ambiguity World and the Future of Corporate Strategy and Leadership, which he published in the year 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome with a round of applause Dr. Victor Abi.
We're still in the morning, so good morning everyone. Honorable Deputy Finance Minister, and all distinguished guests, special apologies from my group CEO and MD, Honorable Osei Prempeh. He was actually bent on coming, but as we all know, towards the end of the year, a whole lot of demanding tasks, so he has asked me to step in for him. I must admit, it's quite a big shoe to step into, but I will deliver as he has instructed. He wanted me, or he has instructed me to express his sincere apologies for not being present with you. Without much ado, I will go straight to what he has given me to read on his behalf, and it reads as follows. The Vice Chancellor, the Pro-Vice Chancellor of this prestigious and progressive university, UPSA, Honorable Abina Osei, the Deputy Minister of Finance, Mrs. the Deputy Governor of Bank of Ghana, Dr. Richard Ampofo, the Administrator of Guest Fund, Dr. Mr. Olumide Olatunji, MD of Access Bank, who is ably represented by Kafu, distinguished guests, faculty members, the media, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. I extend warm greetings from the board, management, and smart working staff of our beloved GOIL PLC, the leading oil marketing company currently in Ghana. Though I couldn't be with you in person, I consider my invitation to this very important conference a great honor and a responsibility. I wish I could be here. Indeed, I am elated to be part of this concerted effort by astute academic scholars, economists, and celebrated business leaders to congregate to deliberate on the theme promoting sustainable enterprises in developing and emerging economies, as occasioned by the current economic turbulence we are witnessing in the history of global trade and finance. There couldn't have been a better and appropriate time and forum than now and this conference for us critical stakeholders to share invaluable knowledge and experiences on financial innovation for sustainable enterprise growth. I wish to commend the Vice Chancellor and his team, as well as the team from Birmingham City University and University of Sunderland, and the Institute for Small Business and Entrepreneurship for creating this platform for professional and practical discourse. With no equivocation, the current global economic circumstances require us to continually optimize the business environment for sustainable enterprise growth. So the question of how the business environment can be optimized, which is the topic he is to speak on, that will encourage the inception and growth of sustainable enterprises is very appropriate and key to the well-being of our planet, and also inclusive economic growth and social development. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, sustainable enterprises entail business entities that operate with minimal or no negative environmental impacts. Businesses that promote social equity, economic viability over the long term. These types of enterprises play a pivotal role in the preservation of our natural resources and the mitigation of effects of climate change. So when we subscribe to supporting and promoting sustainable enterprises, we are equally contributing to the well-being of our environment and building resilient and prosperous economies across our continent. To this end, there are a couple of fundamental areas that require our constant attention, which I intend to bring to our notice. They largely relate to policy and regulatory frameworks, finance, sustainable technology, culture of sustainable operations, capacity building, innovation, and collaboration. While my submissions this morning center around these areas, fundamental areas, in answering the question of how to optimize the business environment, I do acknowledge the enormity of the task in promoting and encouraging inception and growth of sustainable enterprises. It is quite a broad area and a difficult one to engage in or to engage. On policy and regulatory frameworks, governments and statutory regulatory bodies should fully activate or reinforce existing policies or introduce policies that incentivize sustainable enterprises, while robustly implementing regulatory frameworks that ensure full compliance with effective, efficient, and ethical environmental labor practices. Such policies or policy frameworks should offer tax rebates for green investments and subsidies for renewable energy projects undertaken by any business enterprise. Any business enterprise that seeks to operate sustainably. Number two, access to finance is another critical enabler of inception and growth of sustainable enterprises. Finance houses or financial institutions must endeavor to roll out specialized financial products or finance products that are tailored to the needs of sustainable businesses, including green bonds, impact investment funds, and microfinance products targeted at eco-friendly initiatives. Regarding sustainable technology, we need, as business owners and operators, to adopt innovative and sustainable technologies to promote growth, which is key if the development and growth of sustainable enterprises are to be encouraged meaningfully. Governments across developing and emerging economies should support technology transfer initiatives and offer incentives for businesses which adopt clean technologies to drive technological advancement in sustainability industries. Embracing sustainable technology undoubtedly will enable us to automate repetitive tasks, manage customer relations, enhance product development, improve supply chain efficiency, etc., if we are to upscale in our entrepreneurial journey. Continuous creation of awareness about the culture of sustainable operations must be promoted within and among all businesses through gatherings like this, public campaigns, workshops, conferences, to amplify efforts at optimizing the business environment towards attainment of sustainable enterprises. Investing time and resources into building effective strategic capacity that focus not merely on hiring the right talent, but also retaining and empowering them is critical. A strategy that offers employees the opportunity to grow with the business, provide continuous learning opportunities and environment, and ensuring they are part of the business's vision is another way we can optimize the business environment for sustainable growth. Our work culture must encourage innovation and teamwork, which spurs us towards achieving sustainable goals. In addition, building strong internal processes, systems, and infrastructure that can withstand and facilitate exponential growth is equally very significant. Our operations need to be streamlined, processes standardized, and automation introduced wherever possible. I must also be quick to state that though retaining skilled and motivated workforce can be a Herculean task in the current environment, we must endeavor at all levels to promote that. Innovation must be the lifeblood flowing through the veins of our business models. If we foster a culture of continuous improvement where creativity is not a specialty but the norm, much like the wind that freely navigates every twist and turn of a valley, then we are heading towards sustainable enterprise development and growth. Let's also invest in research and development to bring those embryonic innovative ideas to life. Of course, not every innovative venture brings instant success, but iterating, improving, learning from every shot missed will eventually lead to hitting the bull's eye. Obviously, innovation is not a one-time breakthrough. It's sustainable, scalable progression that keeps our businesses moving forward. Furthermore, I wish to also bring to our notice embracing energy-efficient practices through renewable resources and limiting waste from small steps like enabling a paperless office to larger heaps, like sourcing from sustainable suppliers, all add up to reducing carbon footprints. By interlacing sustainability into our business models, it will yield threefold benefits: growth through customer trust, employee satisfaction, and resilient practices. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I believe our economic environment is ripe and enormous development opportunities abound. With focus on enforcing excellent corporate governance principles, strengthening of regulatory institutions and governance systems, equitable and efficient combination of human, financial, and natural resources in bringing about innovation and enhanced productivity, as well as collaboration and cooperation between government, businesses, and civil society at large, we can and we should be able to optimize the business environment for inception and growth of sustainable enterprises across all sectors. Let's maintain continuous collaboration between business leaders and academia to create a more sustainable economic environment that drives positive change for the planet and for budding businesses to thrive. Thank you for the opportunity. May all our collective concerted efforts at building and growing sustainable enterprises yield excellent results. I wish you fruitful deliberations and feedback from this very important conference. Thank you very much.
is now time for us to hear the words of the CEO of Access Bank, Ghana. And he'll be represented by the group head for business banking at Access Bank, Mr. Kafui Bimpe. Please, let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Okay, so I think I'll stand on the existing protocol to say that we are still in the morning. So good morning to all of you. I stand in the stead of my managing director, Olubide Olatuji, who is not able to come because of an emergency. He's asked that I should extend his apologies to all of you. So I'm going to take his speech, and his speech is expected to address the critical question: what role do public and private partnerships play in bolstering the financial and entrepreneurial ecosystem in developing countries? I hope his speech will attempt to address it. So I start. The Deputy Minister of Finance, the Pro Vice Chancellor, Deputy Governor of Bank of Ghana, organizing partners, distinguished speakers, distinguished invited guests, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having me here today at the University of Professional Studies 4th Financial Innovation Enterprise Conference. It is a great honor to represent Access Bank PLC, a leading financial institution dedicated to driving financial inclusion and entrepreneurial development across Africa. In Access Bank, we believe that a vibrant financial sector and a thriving entrepreneurial ecosystem and fundamentals for sustainable economic growth and development. Financial inclusion empowers individuals and unlocks their potential, while entrepreneurs are the engine of innovation and job creation. Public-private partnerships serve as a pivotal mechanisms in improving the financial and entrepreneurial landscape within developing economies. These collaborations harness the strength of both sectors, leveraging government resources, private sector innovation, and expertise to speed up sustainable economic growth. As we all know, developing economies face unique challenges in bolstering these ecosystems. Limited access to financial services, inadequate infrastructure, and a lack of resources can stifle economic activities and hinder economic growth. This is where public-private partnerships come in. PPP, as I will be calling it for short, leverage the strength of both the public and private sector to tackle complex challenges and deliver transformative solutions. They combine government's resources and policy expertise with the private sector entrepreneurial spirit and efficiency. By working together, PPP can unleash unprecedented opportunities to accelerate economic growth. In particular, PPPs foster an environment conducive for entrepreneurship by creating opportunities for small and medium enterprises to thrive. They offer access to capital, markets, expertise, nurturing a supportive ecosystem for startups, and fostering innovation. Through initiatives like mentorship programs and incubators, PPPs cultivate an entrepreneurial culture, driving job creation and economic diversification. One of the earliest recorded instances of PPP occurred in the era of Roman Empire. Rome's ambitious emperors desired a capital city that reflected their power and glory, However, the sheer scale of constructions required for public infrastructure such as aqueducts, roads, and parks exceeded the capacity of the state alone. This is where private contractors entered the scene. These partnerships were not simply financial arrangements. The Roman government laid out the vision and specifications for each project. Private contractors, on the other hand, brought their engineering prowess and construction expertise to the table. This synergy ensured both the quality and efficiency of the projects. Through such a partnership with a private consortium headed by Appius Claudius, the Roman Republic embarked on a grand construction project in 1312 BC, the Appian Way. This ambitious undertaking, spanning 400 miles from Rome to Brindisi, became Europe's first superhighway, facilitating travel and trade between key Roman cities and further connecting the empire to Greece and Egypt. In Ghana, the potential of PPPs is especially exciting. With a budding economy and a young, dynamic population, Ghana has the crucial ingredients to become a regional powerhouse. This can be achieved through the power of PPPs to create an environment where all players or key stakeholders can come together to successfully undertake major projects. In the next few minutes, I will delve deeper into the world of PPPs, exploring their potential benefits for developing economies like Ghana. We will also look at some inspirational success stories from around the world before turning our focus to the specific challenges and opportunities within Ghana's own financial and entrepreneurial ecosystem. Let's take a moment to explore some examples of successful PPPs in action within our developing countries. These stories illuminate the vast potential of this collaborative approach and provide treasured insights for Ghana's own development agenda. Let me not even go to other developing countries. I think we even have one classic example right here with us. That's the hall in which we are over here. It was through PPP, partnership between Access Bank and the University of Professional Studies. So as a mobile money revolution in Kenya, one of the most celebrated cases of successful PPP is M-Pesa, the mobile money platform launched in Kenya in 2007. This innovative initiative was a collaboration between Vodafone and Safaricom, and it tackled the challenges of limited access to traditional banking services by leveraging the permeating reach of mobile phones. M-Pesa transformed the financial landscape in Kenya, providing financial inclusion to millions of previously unbanked individuals and driving economic activities across the country. Over 38 million Kenyans now use M-Pesa, representing about 76% of adult population. The platform facilitates billions of dollars in transactions annually, boosting the informal economy and empowering entrepreneurs. M-Pesa's success has inspired similar mobile money initiatives across Africa and beyond, demonstrating the scalability and adaptability of PPP model. Boosting MSMEs in South Africa. In South Africa, the Small Enterprise Development Agency, which is SEDA, epitomizes the effectiveness of PPPs in supporting small and medium-sized enterprises. SEDA, a partnership between the government and private sector organizations, provides vital training, mentorship, and access to finance to help SMEs thrive. By nurturing a supportive ecosystem for entrepreneurship, SIDA is contributing significantly to job creation and economic diversification in South Africa. SIDA has assisted over 300,000 entrepreneurs since its inception, contributing to the creation of over 1 million jobs. The agency's programs have helped businesses access over 1 billion in financing, fueling their growth and expansion. SIDA's success demonstrates the crucial role of PPPs in nurturing a vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystem. Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement System. In 2007, within our own nation, Ghana, the Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement System was born. GIFTS, a collaboration between the Bank of Ghana and private banks, transformed Ghana's financial landscape. It has made electronic payments accessible to millions, fostering financial inclusion. By reducing transaction costs and increasing efficiency, GIFTS has stimulated economic growth. Its commitment to innovation led to cutting-edge technologies, further enhancing convenience and security. GIFTS' strength lies in its collaborative approach, involving different stakeholders, and its impact is evident in the billions of cedis processed annually and its contribution to economic activity and job creation. At this point, one will be asking, what role does PPP play in bolstering financial and entrepreneurial ecosystem? The first one is catalyzing growth in developing economies. Public-private partnerships have emerged as crucial engine for fostering vibrant financial and entrepreneurial ecosystems in developing countries. By bridging the gap between limited public resources and the needed for infrastructure, innovation, and financial inclusion, PPPs create enabling environment where both the public and private sectors can collaborate to achieve shared goals. Financial inclusion. One of the most significant challenges developing countries face is limited access to financial services, especially for marginalized populations such as women, youth, and rural community dwellers. PPPs can address this challenge through various initiatives, including expanding mobile banking and digital financial services by collaborating with fintechs to develop innovative solutions like mobile wallets, micro-savings accounts, reaching previously unbanked population in remote areas. Collaborating with NGOs to provide financial literacy training and education programs. This will equip individuals with the knowledge and skills necessary to make informed financial decisions, make their finances effectively, and participate in the formal economy. Such programs are proving to be incredibly effective, with initiatives like the Financial Inclusion Forum in Ghana contributing significantly to raising financial awareness, empowering individuals to achieve their financial goals. Entrepreneurship development. PPPs play a vital role in nurturing a thriving entrepreneurial ecosystem by providing essential support to startups and micro, small, and medium enterprises. These includes co-creating incubators and accelerator programs. These programs offer startups and MSMEs access to funding, mentorship, training, networks, and helping them to navigate the challenges of starting and growing a business. The success of programs like the SIDA in South Africa which has supported over 300,000 entrepreneurs and contributed to creating 1 million jobs, highlights the transformative potential of this approach. Developing countries often face significant infrastructure gaps, hindering economic growth and development. PPPs can address this by investing in critical infrastructure projects. This includes building and maintaining essential infrastructure like energy grids, transportation networks, and digital infrastructure. Such investments create a foundation for economic activity and improves the overall quality of life. PPPs can accelerate innovation and technology adoption in developing economies by promoting the development and adoption of emerging technologies. This includes blockchain, artificial intelligence, and big data analytics, which can enhance financial inclusion, transparency, service delivery. Examples include initiatives like the e-Ghana project, which leverages blockchain technology to streamline government services and promote transparency in Ghana. So we'll look at some of the key challenges, and according to the UN Economic Commission for Africa, while PPPs offer immense potential, certain key challenges can hinder their effectiveness and impact. Let us delve into these challenges and explore potential solutions to enable PPPs to function optimally. Lack of transparency and accountability. So what solution can we provide? We need to implement robust transparency measures such as public disclosure of project details and financial information, promoting public engagement through consultations and feedback mechanisms, and establishing independent oversight bodies that can enhance accountability and build trust. Capacity and resource control. Developing countries may lack the institutional capacity and technical expertise to manage complex PPP projects effectively. Additionally, limited financial resources can constrain their ability to contribute to projects. So what do we need to do? We need to invest in capacity building initiatives for government officials and stakeholders, engaging international experts through technical assistance programs, and exploring innovative financial models like blended finance and public-private investment funds that can address this limitation. Long-term sustainability of PPP projects. Ensuring the long-term viability of PPP projects require careful consideration of projects, including strategies for transferring ownership and management responsibilities back to the public sector. What we need to do is to implement robust exit strategies that ensure a smooth transition and protect public interests, prioritizing projects with long-term economic, social, and environmental benefit, and incorporating sustainable infrastructure management practices that consider environmental impact and resource efficiency that can ensure the enduring value of PPP projects. Lack of coordination and collaboration. We need to establish clear roles and responsibilities for different stakeholders, promoting effective communication and collaboration through regular meetings and information sharing, and fostering a culture of joint problem solving and partnership building that can overcome these coordination challenges and enhance the success of PPP. So the success of PPPs depend on a collaborative government, private sector, academia, civil society, which we call GPAC approach, that can engage all stakeholders, including government, private sector, academia, and last but not least, civil society that provides feedback, ensures transparency, and promotes accountability. In essence, by channeling resources, expertise, and innovation, public-private partnership can be instrumental in steering developing economies towards a more technologically advanced, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable future. Their multifaceted contributions across various sectors underscore their significance in shaping the trajectory of these economies. So our call to action is, let us all work together to build strong and effective PPs that will create a brighter future for developing countries and their citizens. Thank you, and I wish you a very fruitful and successful conference.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at that time where we get ready for our keynote speaker. This lady is a distinguished chartered accountant, a Ghanaian of course, and a seasoned public servant. She currently serves as the Deputy Minister for Finance in charge of Revenue, and in her role she plays a pivotal part in assisting the Minister for Finance on issues related to domestic revenue mobilization, supervising the Ghana Revenue Authority and various other domestic revenue agencies and sources. From April 2017 through January 2021, she served as the Deputy Minister for Finance in charge of Budget. And in this capacity, she acted as an intermediary between the Ministry and Parliament, contributing significantly to the preparation and implementation of the government budget during the first 4 years of the tenure of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Our keynote speaker, with her parliamentary journey, began somewhere in January of 2013. Representing the Etiwa East constituency, her active participation in parliamentary affairs is evident through her involvement in key committees such as the Finance Committee, Public Accounts Committee, Employment and Social Welfare, as well as the State Enterprises Committee. Notably, she's played a crucial role in the Public Accounts Committee, participating in both national and international sessions to ensure proper accountability for national resources. Her extensive corporate experience includes a role at Barclays Bank Ghana Limited, where she served as a dealer in the Treasury Department and also a customer team leader in the Retail Department. Prior to joining Barclays Bank Ghana, she worked as an Assistant Director for Finance and Facilities at the New York University, that's NYU, here in Ghana. Our keynote speaker is a highly educated professional. She holds a master's degree in Development Finance from the University of Ghana Business School and also a fellow of the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, ACCA UK, and also a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, that's ICA Ghana. Additionally, she holds a bachelor's degree with honors in economics with geography from the University of Ghana and also a trading certificate from ACI. Beyond her professional achievements, our keynote speaker has demonstrated a strong commitment to corporate governance by serving on a number of boards, including those of the National Health Insurance Authority, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT, Parliamentary Service Board, ADB Bank, GIADEC, amongst others. With proficiencies in English, Twi, and Ga, Abena Osei Asare, our keynote speaker, is not only a skilled professional but also a multilingual communicator, and her dedication, expertise, and diverse experiences make her a valuable asset in the realms of finance, governance, and public service. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me with a standing ovation. Welcome the Deputy Minister for Finance, Honorable Abena Osei Asare. Before Honorable speaks, please, as we resume our seats, let's ensure that there's no movement so we can hear our Honorable keynote speaker fully. Thank you very much. Honorable.
Thank you very much, MC. and good morning to all of us. The Pro Vice Chancellor representing the Vice Chancellor, Professor John Kweku Mensah-Mawuto. Mr. Adams representing Mrs. Elsie Adu-Awaji, the Second Deputy Governor, Bank of Ghana. Dr. Richard Ampofu Budu, Administrator of Get Fund. Dr. Abe representing Mr. Kwame, Honorable Kwame Osei Prempe, MD Group CEO of GOIL. We also have Professor Javed Hussein from Birmingham University. We also have Dr. Samuel Salia, also from Birmingham University, and Dr. Yahaya Al-Hassan from University of Sunderland, London. Representative of Mr. Olumide Olatuji, MD, Access Bank, Ghana, PLC. Senior faculty members from both UK and Ghana, distinguished invited guests, esteemed students, the media, ladies and gentlemen. I am indeed honored and pleased to join you at this 4th Financial Innovation and Enterprise Conference, fittingly hosted in this very impressive auditorium. I know UPSA has come a long way, and I know that this week you have held very important national engagements here, all to foster economic growth and nation building, and for that we are grateful. Let me commend UPSA for its visionary leadership in fostering entrepreneurial development and professional business-mindedness in our society. Your reputation as the oldest Ghanaian human capital development institution in professional accountancy and management remains matchless. I was telling Professor Mawuto that when I was writing my ACC, we were told that if you don't have steady partners, at that time it was Institute of Professional Studies. If you don't have steady partners at IPS, there's no way you can pass your professional exams. So I made sure I always came from University of Ghana to study with the people here. And so I remember those days, over 20 years ago. Yes. Permits me to also extend my appreciation to Birmingham City University, the University of Sunderland, and the Institute for Small Business and Entrepreneurship, all in the UK, for their invaluable cooperation in convening of this event. I'm also delighted to see representatives from civil society, academia, the public and private sectors assembled here. This is a whole of society engaging on a big issue for big impact. Ladies and gentlemen, today's theme, promoting sustainable enterprises in emerging economies, is of crucial importance because it resonates deeply with the conundrum that confronts the over 6.5 billion people who live in the global south. The experience and data confirm the essence of our focus today. On the experience side, I believe most of us here, we all know women who sell our local food, the waakye and the cocoa, and they do it at the same spots, on the same scale, and they've been doing this for a very, very long time. Especially the bullfruit seller or the puff loaf seller, probably doing it for more than 20 years. On a small scale, same location, they come in the morning, say 5 a.m., and then they close before 12 noon. This is the question. How do these women keep their businesses afloat? Why don't these businesses grow and expand? Or why don't they fold up? Somehow these businesses survive while global businesses like Nokia and Lehman Brothers fail. Mostly, these are women with limited formal education. At best, middle school or JHS graduates, no formal entrepreneurial or managerial training, and with limited or no financing. Their tenacity continues to stoke the debate on whether entrepreneurs are born or made. What academics call the nature versus nurture debate. On the data front, the evidence is also clear. Small and medium enterprises represent more than 95% of registered firms worldwide. They account for more than 50% of jobs and contribute more than 35% of gross domestic product in emerging economies, according to the World Bank. Small businesses generate most new jobs and help diversify economies. They also promote innovation, help deliver goods and services, and are a powerful force for integrating women and youth into the economic mainstream. The defining question, therefore, is what innovative solutions and tools can be introduced to support the growth and sustainability of these enterprises. By exploring the interconnections between entrepreneurial education, the business environment, and financing today, we open the gateway to transformative change. Despite the stereotypical image of our wache seller and our cocoa seller, we recalled initially, let me be clear that nobody can doubt how entrepreneurship has positively shaped the modernization of our country. For us here in Ghana, more than 85% of enterprises are SMEs, and these SMEs contribute 70% of our GDP, and 40% of this are led by women or female-owned. The efforts of our hard-working cocoa farmers who bring in about $2 billion annually, our miners, hoteliers, and traders have been invaluable. These have anchored our hope, our rapid urbanization, significant human resources, and infrastructural progress. It is also true that slums in our cities, unemployment challenges, and intermittent macroeconomic difficulties leave all of us to sometimes wonder about the progress we have made. Yet sustained economic development is not self-fulfilling. It requires intentional diversification, which is precisely what entrepreneurship and innovation contributes to economic prosperity and social cohesion. In fact, in building an entrepreneurial economy, it is very, very important to look at also delivering increased welfare, because that is also part of building entrepreneurial economy. However, building an entrepreneurial economy is far from easy. Significant barriers hinder innovation and entrepreneurship in emerging economies, and these include finance, poor management and entrepreneurial skills, lack of qualified personnel, short-termism, limited awareness of innovation needs. And this is where government's invisible hands come in. So the visible hand of government is therefore required to build on the comparative advantages of business and enable them to gain comparative advantages in a globalizing world. Here in Ghana, government has taken deliberate policy and practical shifts. This is to propel and nudge Ghanaian enterprises towards sustainable growth and optimize the enormous opportunities offered by African continental free trade area. On that policy front, the first step has been to reinstate and restore the private sector as the engine of economic growth. Recognizing their key role allows structural reforms that reposition businesses to leverage opportunities and mitigate risk. This included regulatory and legislative reforms, comprising those on registration, insolvency, and tax arbitrations. That policy shift also anchors reforms in the business environment, and this means keeping the lights on at very huge public cost and relieving businesses of the impacts of inconsistent power supply. And that means promoting digitalization and fiscal infrastructure to enhance productivity and reduce the cost of doing business. That policy shift implies institutional renewal in the entrepreneurship space, reforming the National Board for Small-Scale Industries, NBSSI, into Ghana Enterprises Agency, revamping the Youth Employment Agency, and operationalizing the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, NEIP, are meant to support our efforts at building an entrepreneurial economy. Undoubtedly, Revitalizing these institutions has significantly fostered technical and managerial operations of businesses. That policy shift also demands that government actively supports private sector to expand and operate. The catalytic support offered under the One District, One Factory or the 1D1F initiative, which has so far operationalized 169 factories and provided employment to about 160,000 Ghanaians, is an example of that critical policy shift. Another example is the Youth Start initiative that we have been promoting, which 2 weeks ago in this same auditorium saw government granting beneficiaries 100 million Ghana cedis to support startups and SMEs. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, accompanying the structural policy shifts have been the efforts to build critical enablers for businesses with respect to access to finance. We worked together to restore macroeconomic stability. Until 2022, that macroeconomy had favorably underpinned the operations of Ghanaian private enterprises. Inflation reached single digits, energy supply has rightly been taken for granted. The cost of credit was reduced. We even abolished some taxes and reviewed about 5 other taxes. Since 2017, we have increased information and awareness of innovative finance, developed standards and regulations that facilitate the development of innovative finance. We've also coordinated fiscal, monetary, and macro-prudential policies to incentivize new finance and address key credit market failures. One such innovation is the establishment of the Development Bank Ghana to help provide competitive wholesale and long-term financing to medium-scale enterprises in Ghana. The DBG is planning to invest about 1 billion Ghana cedis in 2024 to support entrepreneurs. This DBG sits at the core of a transformed financial ecosystem that had been saved from the brink of collapse in 2016. It complements GESEL, the Ghana Incentive-Based Risk-Sharing System for Agricultural Lending, to provide agricultural guarantees and interest rates subsidies. We also have the Ghana Exim Bank to provide trade finance and the Venture Capital Trust Fund to support venture innovations. Distinguished guests, the headlines in recent times have been dominated by stories of macroeconomic recovery from largely external shocks. Even as we steady our feet from the instability, we have not forgotten the role of the private sector in supporting the economic recovery. We have recently reaffirmed our trust in the private sector and entrepreneurship by instituting the Ghana Mutual Prosperity Dialogue since November 2023. This is a platform to promote intimate understanding of entrepreneurial challenges to foster scaled up and timely response. As put in the just approved 2024 budget policy, UStarts will receive 200 million Ghana cedis from government and $150 million from the World Bank to support entrepreneurship in Ghana. We've also announced a raft of tax reliefs to support targeted sectors. That is a considered use of fiscal policies to incentivize businesses, even in challenging times. We will do more and better for the private sector as stability becomes more entrenched. Let me emphasize that all these changes and shifts have been undergirded by learning and targeting. A distinctive feature of businesses in Ghana and the emerging markets is the extent of informality. They are mostly unregistered, unregulated, and widespread, accounting for over 70% of employment in a typically developing country. We have heard their voices and are laying the foundation that eases their burden in operation. The digitalization of processes at the Office of the Registrar of Companies and the promotion of digital technology in the financial intermediation space are all in response to their call for help. We recognize that this informality hinders access to formal banking and financial services. It is for this reason that we have improved regulation of the microfinance and microcredit sectors and deepened the corporate governance arrangements for rural and community banks. Significant resources of at least 50 million Ghana cedis has been devoted to Maslock to support some of these businesses. More crucially, we've also actively promoted fintech solutions. These platforms enable direct connections between investors and entrepreneurs, fostering a sense of community support and inclusivity. Through collaborations with telecommunication companies and fintech firms, expansion of access to financing is being possible through mobile banking and digital wallet services. These technologies will not only bridge geographical gaps, but also empower the entrepreneurs to thrive. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we know that government has a lead role in entrepreneurship, but educational institutions such as this, nevertheless, have their own critical roles. As a result, we have been supporting efforts to improve the entrepreneurial skills gap and bridge the mismatch of skills from the educational institutions. Educational institutions are being encouraged to implement internship programs that allow students to hone their entrepreneurial skills with private sector as part of their curricula. This provides opportunities for mentorships, just like Professor from Birmingham City University mentioned, and we welcome that. Distinguished participants, a lot has been done, a lot is being done, but a lot more remains to be done to ensure innovative solutions and tools to support growth and sustainability of enterprises in emerging economies. Broadly, the efforts we have made, which is replicable to the wider emerging economies, comprises of at least 5 key interventions, and one is a deliberate policy shift that privileges the businesses and the private sector. Another is a structured platform to advance co-learning and co-creation with businesses. The third is improved coordination within public sector actors and with non-state actors to provide policy coherence and targeting. The fourth is a direct investment in institutions, infrastructure, and technology to improve productivity, reduce red tape, and foster cultural shifts. And the fifth, an intentional economic policy that incentivizes business learnings, innovations, reinvestment, and market linkages. On this path, we must anticipate the impact of technological advances and address sheer resistance to change in the entrepreneurial space. A supportive ecosystem that cushions businesses and frees them to optimize emerging opportunities is what is needed. This ecosystem requires stronger and principled partnerships. By pooling resources, expertise, and insights, we can implement as well as upskill innovation and financial systems more effectively. Pursuing principled partnership takes me back to the businesswoman who sells that I mentioned. So I once asked her how her business hasn't failed, although it still remains very small and it's on a small scale. And she smiled and said, "Don't mix business with friendship." Indeed, a friendship founded on business is preferred to a business founded on friendship. She does not just pray for stable business as she works at it. She's got a phone more than a decade ago, and I mostly wonder why she still hasn't created a community for her customers. So to get the ability to post her products on WhatsApp status, Facebook, and all the social media handles. Because I believe that with this, it will provide her with timely feedback, reduce production wastage from unsold food, and they will easily refer new customers to her by adding them on the platform. I still wonder what would have happened if she had had the ability to keep good records on her business. If she had completed SHS, would it have improved her ability to keep basic records? And would it have slightly emboldened her to inquire about credit from the only rural bank in my constituency, the Tiwa Rural Bank, or seek technical advice from the recently revamped Business Advisory Center in my district assembly, Tiwa East District Assembly? We may never know for sure, but we know now that the foundation is being laid to enhance these possibilities. Let us work hand in hand to support these type of businesses, as well as the large-scale conglomerates. This is the surest way to build a nation, and we believe that as we go through the 2-day conference, the fruitful deliberations that will come out will result in a positive impact on the entrepreneurship drive in this country. And thank you very much. God bless us all.
At this point, a number of key learnings, having heard from all our speakers so far, 9 of them this morning, and at a minimum 7 key themes have run through. For us to be able to properly so promote sustainable enterprise in emerging and developing economies, it becomes very apparent that there should be deliberate policy support. And we just heard from Honorable the specific interventions that have been put in place to ensure that there's that policy support. Access to finance goes without saying, and that has been one of the themes that I've run through. Clearly, education, training, capacity building for our various entrepreneurs, and on how to use the various solutions currently available to us. And in providing solutions, you can't leave out technology and innovation. And so clearly, technology and innovation comes through very strongly as a 4th theme that we have heard of this morning. Also, market access and networking. Connecting the various parts of the supply chain, ensuring there's access and a sustained one in terms of inbound logistics as well as the outbound logistics. We heard also about stakeholder engagement and collaboration, and you heard very strongly Mr. Bimpe from Access Bank talking about public-private partnerships. Very strong theme that we've heard also. And also a monitoring and reporting mechanism to ensure that we are tracking performance, we are properly iterating, and we are improving on performance. And so I want to thank all our speakers this morning. And these themes, as have been mentioned now, are going to be further explored. And so we are done with the opening session, and we'll be breaking out into our smaller groupings. And for today, the rest of today, we'll be looking specifically at emerging issues in finance, enterprise, and innovation to set the foundation for further conversations that we'll be having tomorrow, where we'll be looking at entrepreneurial education and training. There's going to be a postgraduate research workshop, and also we'll be looking at sustainable entrepreneurial finance. And so this is the place to be. We are looking at promoting sustainable enterprise in developing and emerging economies.